everyone, we meet again. I hope you're doing great. So today we'll focus on the last part of critical reading, responding critically to reading text, where you need to produce your own views towards academic reading text. Let's begin, shall we? What are the differences between critical and non-critical reader? For a non-critical reader, whenever they deal with reading materials, they will regard those reading materials as a text that provides facts. They will simply gain knowledge by memorizing statements in the text. However, for a critical reader, they do not simply recognize only what the text says, but also how the text portrays its subject matter, because each text provides portrayal of author's perspective on the subject matter. Not only that, they are also capable to identify text as a unique creation of an author. To illustrate further, non-critical readers will simply memorize information and only recognize what the text says. But for critical readers, they are able to understand the subject matter and recognize what the text says, as well as how the text portrays the subject matter. For a non-critical reader, whenever they are dealing with a historical book, they will simply read it to learn the facts of the situation or to discover an accepted interpretation of those events. That's it. But it differs from critical reader. They will read the same work to appreciate how a particular perspective on events and selection of facts can lead to an understanding. On the contrary, for a non-critical readers, they will simply restate the key remarks, but for critical readers, they will infer what the text as a whole means based on analysis. Basically, there are three steps or modes of critical reading. As we know, non-critical readers are satisfied when they are able to recognize, memorize, and restate information. But not for critical readers. They don't simply satisfied with reading and accepting what it is written in the text. They will go beyond it. They will restate, describe, and interpret the text. Restates means talks about the same topic as the original text. Describe involved with discussing aspect that is written by the author, and interpret involved with analyzing the text and assert meaning of the text as a whole. What are the goals to critical reading? First, to recognize author's purpose, in which it involves with inferring basis for choice of content and language. Second, to understand tone and persuasive elements utilized by the author in his or her writing, which involve with classifying language choice. And finally, to recognize bias, which involve with classifying patterns of content and language choice. Hence, these goals require reader to infer, analyze, and evaluate evidences in text. There are 7 critical reading strategies. First, previewing. Learn about the text before reading it. It will allow you to get a sense of what the text is all about and how it is organized before reading it closely. What you can do? Simple strategy. Take a look at the head notes or other introductory material. Skim to get overview of the content and organization. Identify its rhetorical question. Second, contextualizing. Place text in its historical, biographical, and cultural context. When you read your text, you read it through the lens of your experience. Your understanding of words on page and its significance is formed by what you know and value of living in a particular time and place. Hence, to read critically, you need to contextualize, recognize the differences between your contemporary values and attitudes and those represented in the text. Third, questioning to understand and remember. Ask questions about the content for every paragraph or brief section. Fourth, reflecting on challenges to your beliefs and values. Examine your personal responses as you read the text for the first time. What you have to do, you need to mark an X in the margin at each point where you feel a personal challenge to your attitudes, belief, or status. Make a brief note in the margin about what you feel or about what in the text that created the challenge. Later, look again at the places you mark in the text where you feel personally challenged. What patterns do you see? Fifth, outlining and summarizing. It's all about identifying main ideas and restating it using your own words. These strategies are helpful in understanding the content and structure of a reading text. Because outlining reveals the basic structure of the text, while summarizing synopsizes a selection's main argument in brief. Hence, it helps to distinguish between main ideas and supporting ideas as well as examples. By putting these ideas together using your own words, it helps you to deepen your understanding towards the text. 6. Evaluating an argument. Test the logic of a text as well as its credibility and emotional impact. As a critical reader, you should not accept anything on face value, but to recognize every assertion as an argument that should be carefully evaluated. And because an argument has two essential parts, a claim and support. The claim asserts a conclusion, an idea, an opinion, a judgment, or point of view that the writer wants you to accept. While the support, on the other hand, includes reasons. Perhaps can be shared beliefs, assumptions and values, and evidence. For example, facts, examples, statistics, and authorities that gives you, as a reader, the basis for accepting the conclusion. So when you assess an argument, you need to be concerned with the process of reasoning as well as its truthfulness. At most basic level, in order for an argument to be acceptable, the support must be appropriate to the claim and the statements must be consistent with one another. 7th, comparing and contrasting related readings. Explore likeness and differences between texts to understand it better. Many authors we read are concerned with the same issues or questions, but approach how to discuss them in various ways, in different ways. Hence, fitting a text into an ongoing dialectic helps to increase your understanding why an author approached a particular issue or question in the way he or she did it. Moving on to the next slide, tips to produce your own opinion or views. What are the tips? First, read a lot. Understand the writer. Be very honest with yourself and your own bias. Assess the evidences provided by the writer in his or her writing. Pay attention to their language. Do not get lost in detail and jot down your thoughts. So how to come up with a professional, educated opinion of a written work? There are 4 steps. The first step is all about forming a judgment based on your analysis or evaluation. As you read, think about whether the information that you read is worthy or not, true and or important to you or not. Because the information written in the text will help you to form a certain judgment by using certain words, sentences or paragraph as an evidence to support your judgment. So whenever you need to state your opinion, you need to support your comment with the evidences found in the text. For instance, when you mention, I disagree with the idea that all problems in the world are caused by malnutrition. And you need to refer it with the text itself. Point out the words, phrases or paragraph in the written text that cause you to form that opinion. You refer to which words, you refer to which phrases, you refer to which paragraphs. Let's say on page 2, paragraph 3, the writer said da 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 da. Second step, use your personal experiences to support your opinion. Your belief will determine how you evaluate someone else's work, the author's work. Hence, you need to use your own personal experiences to judge the worthiness of your reading material. Consider all information that you manage to get from the reading text in order to make an in-depth, thoughtful analysis. The third step, consider the quality of the source. Ask these questions. The author qualified as an expert? Is the author being biased? Where did the information come from? Is it from an untraceable source or a personal website? Can the reader look up the information to check it out? Generally, information from professionally certified sources and information that you can always look up and verify is far better than personal opinion or information from sources that could not be validated at all. And finally, the last step, take time to think after you have read the material and made your notes. Ask questions. What is important? What is the main point? What do you really think about the whole thing? Jot it down, jot your thoughts, briefly note parts from the reading that you refer as an evidence to support your opinions. In short, to summarize our lesson today, be a critical reader. Do not memorize, but understand. Restate, describe, and evaluate. Know the purpose, tone, and bias portrayed by the writer in his or her writing. Produce your own views, justification, opinion from the text as well as integrate it with your personal experiences. So we have come to the end of our lecture and it's time for you to complete your tutorial task. What you have to do? Read the short text, case 1, case 2, case 3, and case 4, as well as case 5. For each text, answer the following questions. First, what is the author's intention in writing the text? Second, what is your opinion towards the text? Third, have you encountered such issue or experienced the same situation? Share your experiences. Each question carries 5 marks, and please submit your answers in Author Week for producing your own views towards academic reading text for your tutorial task. So, as for the first case, it is all about euthanasia or mercy killing. Basically, euthanasia is all about deliberate advancement of a person's death for the benefit of that person. In most cases, it is carried out because the person asked to die, but there are cases where a person can't make such requests. Normally, a person who undergoes euthanasia is usually terminally ill, and it can be carried out either by doing something that is administering lethal injection or by not doing something necessary to keep the person alive. For instance, failing to keep feeding the tube going. This is the first case. The second case is all about the issue of LGBTQ in Birmingham. Third case, child marriage in Malaysia. The fourth case, anti-vaccine movement in Malaysia. And finally, the last case, baby hatch. Good luck for your tutorial task and see you in the next video. Bye!